Hey there, I'm Luana and I'm here to tell you a story. There are so many things that I could tell you about, but I chose one thing that is really important to me. Not the most important, but it is part of my life, like breathing right now. Well, it's about books. I've already told you in the beginning that I love reading, and like you can see, I love reading. But I haven't told you how I started to read. I was about 10 or 11, I don't remember exactly the year, when my aunt was talking to me and she put her name on a book in Avon's magazine. My mother used it to sell the enterprise's products, and my aunt said, "Why don't you read this book? It's really cool, I think you're gonna like." When the book got in our house, I started reading a page a day. The book was My Sweet Orange Tree. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember anything about this book. And nowadays I want to read it again. But the thing is, with this book, I became a reader, and I'm really thankful for my aunt and this book because I discovered a universe that I've never imagined before. After this book, my cousin said to me, "Read the Harry Potter's books. It's something about witches. It seems you're gonna like it." And I didn't give any attention. A few years later, I was on a trip and a cousin of my other cousins had the complete collection of Harry Potter. She told me about the story and lent me those. When I started to read, I just couldn't stop reading. It is a universe of magic and friendship that I love so much. Since then, I have been craving to have the collection, but I couldn't buy it yet. Nowadays, because I have a HBO signature, I watch the movies every month. My favorite Harry Potter movie is the third one because Harry has the chance to get out of his uncle's house and he discovered that he has a godfather. The worst one is the part 2 of the 7th film. I hate with all my heart the final battle because in the books it is spectacular. It was spectacular, perfect, and they changed it in the movie. Before reading Harry Potter, I tried to read the Twilight series, but I didn't like it so much. I had tried to read The Hunger Games and Divergent too, but this kind of reading I don't care about so much. Hunger Games and Divergent are dystopia books, so I didn't like so much. Nowadays I'm starting to read, but it's difficult to me. After seeing Harry Potter, I read Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It was in 2014, and I loved it so much. The films were a disappointment. Everything's wrong there. This year I have read the books again, and I still love it. 2016 was the year that I made tea time for my birthday. I completed 17 years, so at that time I asked everybody to give me book, and I got the third book of Twilight series. Then I bought the other ones and read. But this is a series that I don't have much love for. The second book's terrifying for me. The move also. I didn't finish reading the series because I just stopped liking it, but the second is the worst of all. In 2017, I was in Sinop visiting my father. There are some aunts and cousins that live there. My best cousin and I went out to get to know the city. We got into a bookstore and I bought her the book, and I have to read this because it's difficult. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And while I was there, I read a few pages and I liked the book. This time I was starting to date my husband and I asked him to give me the first book, only the first book. And surprise, surprise, he gave me the whole series, at least the first 4 books that were released. My husband tried to be a reader, but he didn't like it. So he and his father had a lot of fantasy. And why had? Why had? Because now all those books are here. Actually here. In my bookcase. And I am so happy for this. The year I read the most books was 2020, and I have read 53 books. I didn't have a job in the first semester, and I was in a crazy mood. When I got to the end of the year, I had a reading hangover. And by 2021, I've just read 20 books. But looking at these books, I see that I have had the best readings, like It, a novel, Misery, and Lacrimosa. The two first from Stephen King, and the last one is from a Brazilian author. And this one I didn't give credit in the beginning, but I was surprised in the course of reading. Well, nowadays I don't read many books, but I'm always reading something. Now I'm reading H.P. Lovecraft, The Tale at the Mountains of Madness, and the second books of the two series, The Dark Tower and The Heroes of Olympus. The other ones are books of design that I'm studying and about self-help because I need to grow up. And that's my story with books. I love this universe. I love to travel around without going out, without paying so much. I love.